morning. It's Wednesday, March 23rd, 2016. Welcome to Delta Daybreak. I'm Candace Red. I have the latest details on the terror attacks in Belgium. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the weather. Riley, what's going on there?
We're starting off a little bit on the mild side, mid-50s for us this morning, but we are under a wind advisory. That's going to be in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. This means sustained winds of around 30 miles per hour, so fairly gusty conditions today. And temperatures should be into the mid-70s, so another warm day across the Delta. We'll see a good mix of sun and clouds throughout our Wednesday. Just going to be fairly breezy out there. Rain should hold out until later tonight. We'll start bringing in some scattered showers across the area. Main line of thunderstorms that we're going to be watching is going to be heading our way by tomorrow morning. So I'll talk about that in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Riley. So the hunt continues for at least one suspect connected to Tuesday's terror attacks in Belgium. The bombings at the airport and subway station left at least 31 people dead and injured hundreds more, and that's including Americans. Well, ISIS has claimed responsibility and has threatened more attacks. Well, Tina Cross has the latest from London.
Authorities continued searching the Brussels neighborhood of Schaerbeek overnight, looking for suspects connected to Tuesday's deadly terror attacks. One of them, seen here with two of the suspected airport attackers, is said to be on the run. Belgian prosecutors say he vanished, leaving his luggage at the scene, while the men next to him died when they detonated explosives hidden in their bags. Police raided a house in the area Tuesday and found chemicals, an explosive device containing nails, and an ISIS flag.
It's a bit weird to think that there are people so close to you that could do something like that.
Security teams locked down Brussels yesterday when ISIS terrorists set off explosions at an airport and train station. Emergency officials treated many of the wounded on the streets.
You see it in movie, but you cannot imagine when you see people yelling like they are going to die.
A memorial is now growing in the center of the city for those killed. Many mourners are reminded of the ISIS terror attacks that struck Paris just 4 months ago.
These guys are going after soft targets, right, on the near side of security. We have to push that security perimeter out. Number two, we need better intelligence.
The assault on Brussels came days after the arrest of the prime suspect in the Paris attacks. So far, authorities in Belgium have not made a direct link between the two events. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Governor Phil Bryant wants to prevent terrorism in the Magnolia State. Well, Tuesday marked the final day for the Mississippi legislature to act on general bills. The House recently voted to pass House Bill 578, and it would allow people to report suspicious activity without the fear of retribution. Now, the Mississippi See Something, Say Something Act of 2016 encourages individuals to speak up when they see suspicious activity when it comes to terrorism in the state. The bill now moves on to the Senate for consideration. And the Mid-Delta Regional Airport in Greenville is focused on security in the wake of the terror attacks in Belgium. Well, Lee Owen is the Mid-Delta Regional Airport Director. He says the airport has tightened its security process, but he cannot reveal any further information due to protocol. But we are told that employees are trained and prepared for all types of events. A suspect connected to a deadly shooting is behind bars, where Burdell Barber is charged with murder. Police say he allegedly shot and killed 25-year-old Justin Jamal Porter. The shooting happened early Sunday at Club Teflon in Yazoo City. Now, police say the victim died at the scene after getting shot in the chest. The body was sent to the state crime lab for an autopsy. The investigation continues. News now in LaFleur County, where deputies are investigating a drive-by shooting. It all happened last night on Highway 82. Now, according to Sheriff Ricky Banks, 28-year-old John Miles was driving, and that's when another driver allegedly shot him in the leg. Now, we're told the shooting could possibly be linked to a drug deal gone bad. No further information is available at this time. Turning now to news in Grenada, a 22-year-old woman is in jail after allegedly killing someone. Well, Larica Bounds is charged with murder. She's accused of shooting and killing 62-year-old Tommy Jenkins. Police found the body of the victim in a car on 50ville Road. Now, Bounds is in the Grenada County Jail on a $250,000 bond. Clarksdale police are still searching for a suspect connected to a deadly shooting. Well, it happened Friday in the 600 block of Garfield Street, and police say 22-year-old Stephen Harris died after getting shot. Well, another victim is recovering at the hospital. WXVT's Denise Turner has more.
He was breathing and, gurgling, trying to make sounds. and he just took one last breath.
Joe was the friend of Stephen Harris. Harris was fatally gunned down Saturday in broad daylight.
He died while I was holding him. I felt that man die. I never thought I'd feel nothing like that. I watched him die, I watched him bleed, I felt him die.
Joe says he just got home from work when he heard 30 to 40 gunshots. He ran outside to find Harris bleeding. My first reaction, my instinct, I wasn't thinking about going to put on no shoes or none of that. Calling 911, only thing I could think of just pick that brother up and take him to the hospital. Joe says Harris took his last breath as he drove him to the hospital. And now I think I can see it's him. No matter what I do, I don't think I can see it's him. As Joe mourns the death of his friend, so does his mother.
I wish, man, just feel like it's just a part of me. It's gone. I'm just so sad. It just needs to stop.
Minnie Walker, Harris's mother, says violence is too common in the area. Much of the violence, she says, is friend against friend.
It just hurts. I am so hurt. I just want all this violence to stop. Just stop the violence. Just took my baby away.
Walker says she knows her son is in a better place, but continues to plead through her tears for the violence to stop.
There's just too much violence going on. Young people killing each other. It just needs to stop. And I just asked them to stop, put the guns down.
In Clarksdale, Denise Turner, WXVT, your Delta News.
Now, police are looking for 17-year-old Cartavis Wright in connection to the murder. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, call the Clarksdale Police Department. And keeping our eye on the flood waters, the flood victims are urged to be on the lookout for scams. So WXVT's Riley Hale has more on how to protect your home and your wallet.
Attorney General Jim Hood's staff met with flood victims in Greenville to raise awareness about fraud and deception related to repairing their homes.
Right. Well, we have received some calls from consumers asking questions. Fortunately, we have not received a lot of complaints thus far. So I think that means that consumers are savvy and that they are really protecting themselves following the flooding that we've had.
Hood's staff offers a set of guidelines and model contracts to help consumers avoid scams related to home improvement. First tip is to make sure you get at least 3 estimates to make sure pricing is fair. Second, verify the contractor is legitimate. Make sure they have a license and insurance. Also ask for references and actually call them. Third, be specific on what work you want done and what materials will be used. Changing your mind halfway through the project will cost you more. Fourth, get a guarantee in writing. If the contractor is not willing to guarantee their work, then you should not do business with them. Fifth, contracts should have a beginning and completion date, exact description of work to be done, total cost of job, and exact schedule for payment. Sixth, always pay by check or money order and make it out to the company, not individual workers. Also, keep your receipt. Lastly, you should keep a copy of the contract in a safe place and make sure you do not sign a certificate of completion unless you are satisfied.
If folks don't have internet access, they are welcome to call us at our 1-800 number, 800-281-4418, and we can walk them through all the potential scams and concerns that they might have following a storm and show them the materials and the steps that they need to take to protect themselves.
In Greenville, Riley Hale, WXVT, your Delta News.
A poet from the small town of Leland is using poetry to describe life in the Mississippi Delta, while I spoke to the author in a one-on-one interview.
After moving away, and just getting caught up in just the busy city life, you kind of appreciate, like the calmer, plain things.
Author and poet Timothy Hollins currently lives in Atlanta, Georgia, but if you ask him, his heart is still in the small town of Leland, Mississippi.
Our time is a bit slower than the rest of the world, and we actually really encompass that thing of Southern hospitality.
Hollins recently wrote and published a book titled Finding Lost Souls. The book is a collection of at least 50 poems.
Thick morning dew weighing every grass blade leaning as a stillness parade under a rising Delta sun.
Each poem gives an inside look into Hollins' life as a child growing up in the Mississippi Delta.
I would think back on the days that I grew up, and it's like a bittersweet because, you know you cannot have those times anymore, but I could have them through my poems.
Holland says the purpose of the book is to tell readers about the good old times in the Mississippi Delta, the times when kids ran outside, jumped on bikes, and tried to catch fireflies. In the studio, I'm Candace Redd for WXVT News. Let's go ahead and take a look at this morning's Delta Chat question. So, should cell phones be used as an ATM card? Why or why not? I'm going to go with, I don't know.
It's a tough one. There's
I really don't know.
Pros and cons to it.
It'll make it so much easier.
True.
But then again, it's a security issue for me, I would think.
Right. And yeah, it all depends on how well you protect your cell phone, I guess. But I've heard of, like, if you don't have a particular type of wallet that blocks people from, like, because a lot of credit cards now have the chip readers in them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So people can just like walk past you, pick up your chip on your card, get your information, and like you have to have specifically made wallets that can kind of block frequencies that go through.
Now,
that.
did they make these changes to help protect you?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but apparently it makes it a lot easier for people to steal it now.
Apparently it seems as though it doesn't really matter what people do.
Right.
You have to just, I guess, be on the lookout.
Yeah. I mean, if it's on your cell phone, I know my cell phone has a passcode on it, so no one can really get into my cell phone unless they know my passcode. So if my cell phones are on, or my credit cards are on that, then it could be helpful and actually more secure.
Interesting. Well, I'm told that we don't really have any new comments at this time, but definitely go ahead and head over to our Facebook page because we do want to hear what you have to say. Riley, what's going on with the weather?
Let's look at our weather headlines for today. Windy conditions will persist throughout our Wednesday. Wind advisory in effect start 9 a.m. and that will stay in effect until 10 p.m. later tonight. Should see some spotty showers work their way across the area by later this evening. This should be into the overnight hours, and then we'll see a band of thunderstorms push through the area by tomorrow morning. Cooler weather behind that cold front. I'll let you know just how cool coming up in just a little bit.
Riley, are you a whale watcher?
I would like to watch whales, but I've never been in the situation to watch whales.
Free Willy. Have you ever seen that movie?
Great movie.
Oh my gosh. And then when the whale jumps over.
Jumps over Jesse, isn't that his name?
And he's just standing up like this or something. It's just so
and is it
beautiful.
Michael Jackson playing in like the background?
Really?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know. The movie is so old. I don't remember.
That was a good movie, though.
I was just asking because in Oregon, apparently, it's Whale Watchers Week. And I'll be sure to bring that story to you after the break.